Hey everybody, I'm Natalia Bonner, back with another fun video in this little series that I'm sharing with you. This super cute fancy forest quilt, like I mentioned in last week's video, I've quilted several of these and had a lot of fun quilting them. Had tons of comments, people wanting to see videos about them. Generally, this type of video I would only share on Patreon. So if you want more videos like this, make sure you hop over to my Patreon page. Over there, I share a lot more of these type of more in-depth videos. But just because I'm feeling generous this week, well, this month, whatever, I thought it would be fun to share these videos here with you on YouTube. So, just a few basics before I actually get to the quilting on this little block. If you missed last week's video, last week I shared a video on this same quilt, quilting on the bunny block, and now today we're going to work on the butterfly block. I love the butterfly block. There's just something about this block that with the feather quilting that I do on it, I feel like I'm really able to kind of bring the block to life, to bring the butterfly to life with feathers. Who would think feathers on a butterfly could look so awesome? But just a few things before we actually get to the quilting. I do all of my machine quilting on a Gammill 22-inch machine. You can see it right there behind me. The thread that I'm using on this particular quilt is So Fine by Superior Threads on the top, and then I'm using Bottom Line also by Superior Threads on my bobbin. You can pick up all these products and my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler over on my website, peaceandquilt.com. So let's get to the quilting. I hope you find this inspirational. All right, so of course I'm using my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler on this because, like I tell you guys all the time, I love the look of Stitch in the Ditch. I love how it separates those background fillers that I'm using, the heavy background filler, from the designs. It just really, in my opinion, Stitch in the Ditch is a great way to complete things. I guess that's the best word. But the first thing I'll do, obviously, Stitch in the Ditch, and then on this particular butterfly, I am kind of avoiding or ignoring the seam lines that are there, but kind of not. So I'm using them as references, but I'm not necessarily breaking down every single little piece that's pieced into his wing. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So I'm basically looking at it as there's kind of two sections, the top section of his wing and then the bottom section of his, or her, whatever it is, of the butterfly's wing. Now I chose to do these bump back feathers. I feel like they're nice and soft and elegant coming from the center. So from the bottom section, I quilt one set of bump back feathers and then the top section a second set. Then I'll use again back to my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, and I do have the Westerly stable tape on the back of my ruler. It's something I like to use. It just helps me kind of have a little bit of extra control of my ruler as I'm moving it around. Then I'll move over, so I've stitched around the top of his head, a little bit down the side of his spine or the center of his body, and then start with those bump back feathers again on the opposite side. So a small set of the bump back feathers on the small portion of his wing, and then a larger set of the bump back feathers on the top part. So on this particular quilt, I am using one thread color, the thread color number 402, So Fine. It blends really great. It looks great with the background color. It looks great also on the actual colors. You know, there's a lot of colors that are on this quilt, and that thread just blends really, really nicely into there. So obviously I'll go through, finish stitching in the ditch around him. Personally, I don't always stitch in the ditch first. Sometimes it's the last thing, sometimes it's the first thing. A lot of times my stitch in the ditch acts as a method of travel for me. I hope you enjoyed this little video today and found a little bit of inspiration. I will be back next Monday showing you how I quilt the little hedgehog. See you later, everybody.